Notes, as you know, I keep notes on a paper plate, and the governor just covered every one of them. So I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about now. That was a joke, actually. This is, I think I was telling Tom Wright, I don't think I've missed one of these since I've been in office, so this is my 10th or 11th one, and this is a great event that you guys have, and like the governor said, it's good to get out with people that are just kind of normal, hardworking people that understand, you know, what life is all about. We will get back to Democracy Day someday, right? We'll have that again. And the one thing we're going to teach Democracy Day, one thing we're going to teach at Democracy Day to these kids is what the governor was talking about, is all this good news. Unfortunately, you don't always see that on the front page of the paper because they're mad that he didn't shut the state down. They're mad that we didn't have a mask order. And so, not our local media, of course, but in a national way, it's hard for Missouri to break above the clutter because they don't like to report those things. And so, balanced, we need to be balanced, and that's what I'm sure you're teaching those young men and ladies at Democracy Day. I just want to follow up on a couple of things the governor said. You know, I know Kevin Blancett's here from Quaker, and I've known Kevin forever, but you know, during the middle of the crisis, you had a company like Quaker who's in an expansion here and obviously been in business a long time over Freeburg. I think Kevin and I talk probably every day for weeks, maybe months, about who is going to be a priority, who is going to be essential, who is not going to be essential. And I think it's important to remember in Missouri that we figured anybody who had a key to a building that owned it and employees that come in and needed a paycheck were essential. And I think that's what made Missouri different, and I think that's why jobs grew, investment grew, and people looked at Missouri because we were in that spot. I can tell you that, you know, part of what our office does is our top priority, and I know was the governor's top priority still today, and when he was lieutenant governor, is deal with our veterans community. And you know, can't physically visit veterans right now in the home like I like to go to the homes, and I know Teresa has went up to visit veterans through the glass window, and it's a little bit tough for those men and ladies, those heroes in our veterans homes, but I do Zoom calls with them. Now, first of all, these 86-year-old veterans, when they get on that Zoom call, they're just fascinated. How could you not be in Mount Vernon, Missouri? How could you be in Jefferson City? So it takes a while to explain all that to them. But every one of them in the last several weeks have told me how thankful they are to get their shots. This is kind of they can't see their family, they can't see one primary caregiver now, but they're so excited, Governor, to get their shots. And every one of them just said, thank the governor that we got our shots. And these men and now ladies in some of these homes are just so excited to be able to get that. We're seeing that more and more as confidence kind of comes back into our economy. We're starting to see that. Tourism is another big piece that we handle in the Lieutenant Governor's office. Huge for this area, obviously, with the lake. I was talking to the mayor earlier who was telling me how good of sales tax year they had last year and how good it looks this year. But we need to, the fact of the matter is that tourism is our second largest industry. 301,000 Missourians depend on tourism directly for a job. And it took pieces of that sector of tourism took a big hit. So we need to kind of keep working to open our state up and make sure that we, Missourians and all these states around us, I mean, quite frankly, really, there's nothing to do in Iowa and Kansas. Those people need to come here.
And they do.
We are cherry picking all those states right now for activities. But you know, those are the things we can do. People are going to be hesitant to fly a little bit for a while. We need that industry to come back, trust me. But in the meantime, we need to be that staycation state. We're that perfect state that's a 4 to 5 day. We've never been the 14-day state, and we're not going to be. But we have that sweet spot. We're affordable, we're easy to drive to, and we have attractions from one end of the state to the other that are very different and vast, and we're going to continue to hammer on promoting our tourism industry, both public and private. I know the governor and I, First Lady and I are meeting on parks this weekend yet, on Sunday, to talk about our state parks and the great assets they offer. So Missouri does have a lot of good things going on. We just need to keep pushing that. But we got to do it through, you know, the lens of common sense. I already had my conversation with Blaine this morning when I said, what's wrong with you people? How much money can you print up there? But thank God our congressman did not vote for that craziness. But in Missouri, we have a balanced budget, and we're always going to have a balanced budget. And the governor's presented his. It's going through the House. Our new House members are going to have a say in that here shortly. But we're going to balance the budget. We're going to do things the Missouri way to, you know, keep common sense and normalcy to our state government. We're not going to spend ourselves into oblivion here. So that's why we need good thinking, logical people like Blaine out there for us. I know he's the son of North County, so we don't need to pump him up too much. But the fact of the matter is we have a great congressional delegation. I know Hannah's here from Senator Blunt's office, and I'm grateful to have him as a friend. I know all of us here are grateful to have him as a friend. And obviously his new announcement that he's going to go in a different direction in a couple of years. I told him on the phone the other day, I said, Roy, you deserve it. I mean, he's been working his brains out forever. I'll miss him. But I'm super happy for him and all the things he's done for our state. So we do have a great delegation in D.C., and we're going to, Governor and I and your state representatives and Senator, will continue to work with those folks. So it's fantastic to be down here today. I know you have a ton of speakers to see here, but I'm just going to close with one thing. Matt, I'm sitting with your assistant over here. She needs a raise. After 5 years with you. But I know Mike Parson and Mike Kehoe use Eldon and the school district and the Quaker Project and economic development all the time as a model when we're talking to people. That's a model that should be replicated across our state. The way that the school district works with industry, works with the chamber, works with economic development, work with our utility supplier, Ameren, to put all those things together to bring projects like Quaker here, when quite frankly, my first one of these days I came to 10 or 11 years ago, the plant had just closed and everybody was, it was gloom and doom and we don't know what we're going to do. And you guys pulled up the bootstraps and you made it happen. So the way you work together to bring projects to life, to help the community, to better the community, whether it's the Rock Island Trail or Quaker Window, that's a model that we need to use across the state. It's something we talk about across the state. And I just want to congratulate you guys for what you've done and working together. So thank you so much for having me here this morning. God bless each and every one of you.